Thank you, Jim. This open meeting of the Design Review Committee is being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12, 2020, due to the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth due to the outbreak of the COVID-19 virus. In order to mitigate the transmission of the COVID-19 virus, the town of Northborough has been advised and directed by the Commonwealth to suspend public gatherings, and as such, the governor's order suspends the requirement of the open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. All members of the Design Review Committee are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. The order allows the Design Review Committee to meet entirely remotely so long as reasonable access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. The public is encouraged to follow along using posted agenda unless the chair notes otherwise. Members of the public who wish to view the live stream of this meeting may do so by going to the Northborough Remote Meetings on YouTube via the link listed on the agenda. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will not feature public comment. So I will confirm the members are here by doing a roll call, and then we'll start the meeting. Tom Reardon.
Here.
Lisa Maselli.
Here.
Dave Veron.
Here.
Diane Nicholas.
Here.
And myself. Okay. So today is April 7th, and we have an applicant with regarding 0, 97, and 99 Lincoln Street. I will recuse myself from the meeting and Tom will take over. I just wanted to let the board know that Dave needs to leave at 9 o'clock. And so just keep that in mind. So I will recuse myself now, and then you can bring the others in.
Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Okay, you can see the drawings. Great.
Do you also have the site plan, Diana?
I can bring it up. Yeah.
So do we have Brian Waterman and Hamid available?
Yes, and then there was a phone number in the waiting room that's no longer there, but I don't know if that was a part of the applicant's team.
Good morning.
Good morning. Salam alaikum, Hamid.
Alaikum salam. Thank you.
So is Brian going to join us?
I believe so.
Yeah, it says he's connecting now. He may be having some connection issues.
So Hamid, Brian sent us some photographs of the site that showed the standing water and then the northwestern corner of the site. Has he discussed this with you, how to mitigate that?
The water and stuff, correct. Yes, yes. We'll be taking the appropriate measures for that, correct.
This is Brian Waterman. I'm having computer issues with my audio, so I'm on the phone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, the photos, if you see the wetland line that's off to the left, those, all the standing water and ice and those things are in that internal wetland. Yes,
Yep.
inside the wetland there. And they flow to the south and connect with an intermittent stream that goes to a culvert, which discharges under Lincoln Street to the east. So that's where all the standing water is. So we've delineated the wetlands. We finished our survey location of those this week. We're working on finishing topography and property boundary survey.
So has the
So-
surveying indicated will you have to make any adjustments to your site design?
I haven't been able to, I think survey just processed those points last night, so I'll take a look at those this morning. But, now instead of that approximate line, the shape is pretty similar. There are a few more bump outs, but we'll offset that line and see if we have to adjust this accordingly.
So if the wetlands vary from what you're representing here, and say you have to move the house closer to Lincoln Street, the duplexes, that would begin to impinge on your septic leach fields.
Potentially, yeah. I mean, we oversized those just to show that we could get a large system in that area. So, moving that forward, that's still a huge system. So there should be plenty of room.
So if there is a modification to this site plan that affects these duplex placements and the septic leach field placement, we would need to see that before we could give a final approval.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, this is preliminary stuff without, final design, obviously. So I think it seemed more to figure out what kind of style house would go there and colors and things like that. But obviously, we need to do more engineering and testing to really, nail down a design plan.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions?
Nope.
So now we could go to the building design. So we received some updated exterior elevations and floor plans and also materials list. So Hamid, did you want to take us through that?
Sure. Yep. So the last time we presented, the floor plans weren't included. I believe it was David who asked to see them, and obviously it's part of your design review guidelines to have them. So they are included here. They are reflective of what we're going to be building at these properties. I'm not sure if there are any specific questions you have on the layouts or on the elevations. I think exterior wise, they're the same, especially the facade. The only thing was on the rear of the house, the site plan was already reflective of where the patio was going to be, but the elevation had the patios on the party wall between the two buildings. They are separate. So again, the rear elevation hadn't been updated last time, and it is now.
So you showed that one building was going to be gray and the other was brown. Do you have any color samples?
Yes, so what I did was in the schedule of materials, I provided the links to the websites that have the exact colors and materials within them. And I gave the specific colors for whether, and I separated by 2 pages, duplex A and duplex B. If you scroll down, you have to provide your zip code.
Down there for
You
San
gotta
Francisco.
put your zip code.
We all know the zip code.
So if you scroll down a little bit, you will see the khaki brown is there in the middle, and the pearl gray is down to the left.
These two.
So is this a smoother textured siding you're proposing?
It's the hardy plank. It's got some texture to it, slight texture.
Can you get smooth?
Can I get smooth? To be honest, I'm not sure. I'd have to find out.
Yeah, I think it's
What's that?
both available.
Do you want me to look for it on the website or?
No, that's okay.
Okay.
My preference would be to have smooth, because if this is imitation of a wood product, you'd never have a wood product that would look like this. It would always be pretty smooth unless it was a shake or a shingle.
And if you, that's for the siding, there's obviously the other materials that are there. I basically did the same thing. The roofing, so you could see it's a black charcoal color. The link to that specific roofing is there.
So essentially we have three colors. We have the siding, we have the trim, windows and doors are all white, and then we have a dark gray roof.
That's correct. And obviously they're accentuated because if you look at the elevation, it's not that it's just, okay, siding here, roof up top, door here. I mean, there's windows, doors, there's the bump outs, there's the paneling. So there's some definition there, especially with the contours that exist on the front of the house, with the brows that are over the garages to break it up a little bit.
So on the brown house, are these panels white then?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And the,
What about on the gray house? Is that still going to be white too?
Yes, it would be.
I see. Oh, yeah.
so the muttons, are they between the glass or on the surface, or how are they reading?
So the buttons in the windows you're referring to, those again, I have the windows in the schedule of materials as well. It's a Pella window with it's a vinyl Pella window, 3 wide, 2 high, colonial style.
So is that not a direct link? Is it?
So what are the muttons? Between the glass or?
What you see on that
Surface.
screen right there? Between the
Yeah.
glass, correct. I'm sorry. Yes, not on the glass, between the glass.
Okay.
Okay,
And then I think the next thing in the schedule of materials. Front door. I typically like to do a full light door with side lights, full light side lights on my builds.
so you're not going to use that door, are you?
I would like to, unless you tell me you do not like it, but I mean,
Well, again, when you show these colonial derived exterior designs and then you put these Victorian doors in, it's just a clash of styles.
would you prefer more of like a French door, 9 light or 15 light style?
Just a door that goes with the architecture.
You got two vernaculars that are not reading together at all.
Yeah, exactly. So, having a simulated leaded glass look is fine. It's just these floral, naturalistic patterns are from a different period of time, like 100 years after the style where your house is rooted in. So, if you're going to work in the colonial revival type style, the emphasis more on heavier caps on windows and doors, and they might have smaller breakups of the window with the muttons, but they wouldn't get into this. This is 1880s to 1910 kind of stuff. Unless you want to change the house architecture to be consistent with it.
No, I mean, the changing of the door is not a problem. I've received good feedback on this because it brings a lot more light into the home. Again,
Yeah, keep the full light doors and the side lights. Just
Yeah, I mean, what you've drawn is
that's fine.
good.
okay, that's fine. That's just a 9 light door.
Yeah,
That's simple
consistent
enough
with
to do.
the rest of the architecture.
Okay, not a problem.
I just realized when you have the muttons in the glass, it's not going to read as well as what we're seeing right here. Because when you have the full glass and the muttons in the glass, it just doesn't read like that. It just doesn't pop like what you're seeing in the drawing right here.
Yeah, I'll just read as black glass.
Next item, or is there any more commentary on that? So I'll swap the front doors to ensure that they're 9 light, as you see there, with the side lights. That's a simple change to keep the exterior more consistent, as you said.
And are the garage doors going to be like they're designed here? Are they going to look like that?
They're a craftsman style door. So yes, they're going to have the details on the bottom as well as the glass inserts on the top. I use a Haas door.
Oh,
That's
doesn't like that one.
not like that one.
Let me see if I can get it up on my web browser though.
So again, Hamid, if you're mixing colonial architecture with Art Nouveau front door and craftsman style garage doors, again, you're getting a stew of styles. So look at your building and try to get the accent pieces to be consistent with the overall architecture.
Okay. Again, I was on the previous Zoom meetings, a couple of them, and the other gentleman had the same facade. And I figured that this look is the same as theirs, believe it or not. And I thought that it was a look that the town was more looking for, especially when we started talking about throwing some, for example, the decorative handles that were on the doors that I typically installed, and that was met with, it wasn't viewed very highly. So I figured that this was something you guys wanted to see, but if it's not, I'll gladly change it.
Well,
So
it's
what-
not, we're looking for a specific style. We're just looking for the quality of your design work to be internally consistent and not be in the candy store picking one of these and two of those and just kind of throwing it together. We want the integrity of your design to work.
Understood.
And just by controlling the details, you're able to get a stronger looking building.
Understood.
So is it this panel that you were considering?
Yeah, it has a rib style that comes down and it's blocked off. It's not like it's just coming straight down, obviously, because it's a 4-panel door. And then if you scroll down, I think the where is it? I believe it's the 4-pane glass.
Where?
The one right above the mouse. One more above that, right
Yeah,
there.
okay, that's fine.
Okay. Lisa, did that answer your question about the doors? Is there
Well, I'd
anything
love
else?
to see the bottom part. I can see the 4 white boxes, but there's not a lot of detail to see the bottom. And they usually show you the full door. Like, is that what it is with those squares?
No, I think, go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry, it's a 4-panel door with those ribbings that you saw in the previous screen, and then the glass with the 4-pane that I showed you we displayed on the screen for the top panel.
So that has the 4-pane, and then you have this beneath it.
Correct, on the 3-panel, the
Okay.
3 slats of the door beneath it.
Okay, all right, because it's just, I mean, the drawing is very nice, and I think that's just what we're trying to make sure that it looks like the drawing that's here on the screen. So the doors and such, they make a big difference.
Can do it in second set now.
Yeah.
I don't need it, but
Okay.
need it for tomorrow.
All right, thank you.
And then gutters, obviously, there's going to be gutters on the building. Those are just white aluminum seamless gutters. And then the front walkways, as shown on the site plans, those would just be done in paver stone to match one side, because as a more of a gray hue would have the gray stone. One side, because it's more of an earth tone, would have like a beige type of stone, or earth color, I should say. And then the lighting is called out on the second page of this site plan. There's a sensor light above the garage door. So again, that was just included there. And then I think the final thing in the schedule of materials was the, sorry, I'm bringing it up on my computer too. Mulch bed. So the mulch beds would be black mulch beds in the front, which again are shown on the site plan. I just called out that I would be using black mulch to again accent the black roof.
So Hamid, there are the requirements to have lights at both exterior doors. So if it's front door, you'll have a recessed light or a wall sconce, and you'll have to probably have a wall sconce on the rear door.
Yes, correct. Rear door meaning the door to the patio, correct?
Correct.
Yes, yep, there would be. That's the same thing. I would also put a sensor light on those because those provide the most amount of luminance.
And is there some reason, we're doing the light plan, correct?
Correct.
Is
The
there
question was
some
about the
reason
light.
why you didn't want to put a lamp post on both drives when it's 150 feet of length, like a small white lamp post?
There's street lighting, if I'm not mistaken. And then on top of that, none of the other properties on the neighborhood have it. So it's a little out of character. And the reason why I didn't go with like light, like a recessed light in the browse above the garage or just wall sconces was because they're one unit, one building is 130 feet off the road and one's 100. I figured those sensor lights provide enough luminance when they're driving up as they get off the road and lose some of the street lighting, that then the sensor light would pick them up and illuminate the driveway for them to go in without causing disturbances to traffic that's going by on the street.
Okay.
I know there's not much on landscape and nor is there really anything for us to go by, but have you thought about doing any beds behind the two decks or on the side of the house on either side of the homes?
To be honest, no. I wanted to keep as much yard space available for the homeowners as possible. As you can see, with the amount of wetlands that exist in the back and the amount of tree cover that we're leaving, some of the units don't have as much backyard space left, for example, so they may have to employ their side yards more for their kids and whatnot. Again, these are 4-bedroom units. I'm expecting families with children to move into them, and obviously, the more yard space they have, the better, whether they want to put swing sets or trampolines or whatever they want to do.
I was actually thinking in the terms of the hardy plank going down the side and, lawnmower or weed whacker damaging the hardy plank, running a bed of, a foot or two, whether it be stone or something along the sides, just as protection of the hardy plank.
Yep, I mean, typically the foundations are about 18 inches off. So a lawnmower wouldn't, I wouldn't think hit, but I get the point. I get the point. I can look into either putting either a slight bed of stone or like you said, just putting mulch beds around. In my typical builds, I don't put mulch beds all around because what happens is the homeowners don't maintain them and then weeds grow out of them. Even if you put the fabrics down and whatnot, they still kind of just die off and they throw grass clippings on top. It looks good when you walk out the door, but after that, doesn't really, I don't know. My experience has been the upkeep doesn't happen. And again, most of the stuff on this is hidden. If you notice the homes, the facade that's visible from the street is going to be very pretty and it's hopefully aesthetically pleasing to everybody around there. And everything else is hidden in the back, hence why the AC units are being tucked where they are. So again, they're not visible from the street.
So Hamid and Brian, have you located your subsurface infiltration systems yet?
No.
Okay. So when
No.
you complete your documentation of the wetlands, will you include that in the next submittal?
Yeah, once we get to, get our testing done and everything else, then we'd be citing the septic systems, subsurface infiltration units, things like that.
Okay. And we'll know whether the grades will be affected by the groundwater and the septic location.
If what?
If you need to raise the system, that will be indicated on the site plan.
Oh, yeah, when we get to final design and site plan, yeah, once we design this actual septic system based on the witness soil testing, then we'd have final grades on the plans.
Okay.
And are you having 2 septic systems for 8
That's-
or 1 for 16?
No, 2, 1 for each duplex. So there, if you look on the plan, there's one to the north of that 2 unit over there to the right-hand corner. And then on the south, there's one just to the southerly driveway. So there'd be
Okay.
one system to take each duplex.
Okay.
So they share the septic systems.
Each duplex does, yes, instead of all 4 going to one large community system.
It's 2 independent parcels, so each parcel is going to be looked upon and operated independently. The leach field or the septic system on the bottom parcel has nothing to do with the top and vice versa.
But you could have 2 tenants sharing.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct.
Like a homeowners association, or?
That's correct.
Okay. Do they share any other utilities? Just-
Water would be separate, electric would be separate, heating would be separate. No, that's it.
Anything else?
Okay.
Well, I think we're all comfortable with the design with some minor modifications to the building in terms of clarifying your front door. And I don't have any problems with the site plan, but we know it's preliminary. So we would like to see the confirmation of the wetlands and whether that impacts the position of the house and the septic systems.
Right.
And-
Yep.
Is this something that we could get approved so that we can move to the other boards? Because obviously, not only is that, like you said, the surveying going to potentially impact, but conservation may have a say too on what they want done. And then before final approval to build is given, again, I've got a long road ahead of me. I'm aware of that. But I want to get, if possible, in front of the other boards and get their input, and then maybe have you folks have the final say on what needs to get tweaked now that you see this is the vision and this is the scope of materials and whatnot.
Well, I'm comfortable voting on the approval of the duplex design in terms of the architecture. I think we probably need to talk to Kathy about our concerns about the position of the duplex and the septic system because we don't have completed wetland information.
Well, yeah, that, and we don't have, witness soil testing yet and everything else. I mean, this is a concept and preliminary, but we're working on getting all that other data to really be able to nail down that plan and then do final grading and everything else.
So we could approve the concept of design, site design, contingent that subsequent information doesn't change the position of the building or the septic systems. That
Well,
way-
it may change slightly. I can't say it's going to stay exactly where it is, but it should be very close to what you see. But it'll meet zoning setback and everything else, yes.
Well, you don't have much room on the northerly site in terms of septic location. Even though it's enlarged here, but.
Right. Yeah, and like I said, that's based off that line. As soon as I can take a look at what our survey crew picked up for the flagging, I'll see if that's I could even apply that to this general layout, and we could take a look at that and see if, does that move back 10 feet? Does it move forward 10 feet? It's, now that we have an actual line located. Now that still needs to be approved, as Hamid pointed out. We still have to file out the Conservation Commission to have them approve the boundary, but I'm pretty confident in where it's located.
So I'm in favor of voting on the building and site design at this time. Diana?
I would move to approve that contingent on the wetland survey. Yes.
Okay. David?
I'm in favor.
Lisa?
It's fine.
Okay. So Brian, Hamid, I think we're good with the design layout. If there's any significant changes to the positioning of the buildings and or the septic system, that we get notified of those changes.
Sure.
Excuse me, Tom?
Bob?
Yes, who seconded the motion?
Oh, I'll second the motion then.
Okay,
Sorry.
that's right.
And I also vote in favor of the building and landscape design.
Got it. Okay.
So do we need to officially close this discussion? We have a motion?
I move that we close this discussion.
All right. We have a second here.
Second.
All right. Everybody in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Well, thank you very much. And we'll bring Michelle back in and we'll resume our meetings minutes discussion.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so the next on the agenda are consideration of minutes. I think I read online that Dave, Tom, and Diana all approved the 3:16 minutes, as well as, did you guys approve the 3:30 as well? And then Lisa, did you get the minutes to review them and approve them yet?
I did, but I don't have anything to do with the one you first talked about because I wasn't at the meeting.
Okay, the 3:16 minutes, you weren't at the
Oh,
meeting? Okay.
right.
Has everyone received the 3:30 minutes?
I don't think so.
I think so.
Yeah, she notes 3:30 down here, but I'm not quite sure that we've received them. So why don't we just make a motion to approve the 3:16 minutes? Since we all accepted them, except for Lisa, who did not attend that meeting. And if someone wants to make a motion to approve them and then second it,
Motion to approve.
I second.
okay. And then, so I'll just do a roll call. Diana, are you all set on the 3:16 minutes?
Yes, approved.
Dave, all set
Yep.
on the minutes?
Approved.
And then Tom, and then myself, yes.
Yep.
Okay, so we've approved, Bob, we've approved the 3:16 minutes. And the 3:30 minutes appears that we don't have, but we'll go back and take a look in our email to see if Kathy has sent them out, and then we can do it for the next meeting. Did we schedule, I'm trying to look forward, I think we had scheduled another meeting for design review. And then we also need to schedule a meeting with Judy Barrett for design review. I have us down here for April 28th on design review. Is everyone available then?
Yes.
I have that same thing. I got about a window of 1 hour max, and then I got a hard 9 o'clock cutoff. From pretty much from here on out, I have 9 a.m.s every single Wednesday.
Okay, okay. And Diane, does that work for you on the 28th? And how about you, Lisa?
Yes, it works for me.
Okay. Why don't we wait? I don't know if we want to go ahead and schedule a meeting for May as well, just in case. But we seem to be meeting on Wednesday mornings, but they don't work very well for you, Dave, right?
Right, because I have that 9 a.m. every Wednesday. And then I also have crews and everybody else getting out before that too.
Okay. So if we need to meet again in May, does anyone's schedule look better on a Thursday or Friday?
I'm more open.
Generally, I'm okay, but I mean, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't predict what clients are going to schedule.
Right.
But I mean, generally Thursday mornings they're definitely better than Monday and Tuesday. So
Okay. So since we're meeting on the 28th, I'm wondering if we should try to tentatively schedule a meeting either the 13th or 14th of May, which is 2 weeks later. If that applicant on the 28th needs to extend, we could always ask for the 2 weeks later. And then also If Judy Barrett is available, we could try to schedule it for that time.
I can't do the 14th, but I could do the 13th.
Can everyone do the 13th at 8 a.m.?
Yep, 13 works
As
for
of right
me.
now, I'm good.
Yep.
Okay.
Works for me.
And then is everyone on checking your schedule? Can you meet past 9 o'clock? So if we needed to just a little bit go over, could we go to 9:30? Is that okay with you, Dave?
Yep.
Okay. How about you, Lisa?
Yes, it is.
Okay, Tom and Diana
Yep.
as well?
Mhm.
Okay. So we'll schedule on May 13th, and hopefully we can get the consultant in from 8 to 9:30. If not, if we have any other applicants, we'll try to put them in within that hour and a half time frame. Okay. Well, I know you all have to get back to work, so we are all set. And if we can make a motion to adjourn the meeting,
Motion to adjourn.
Second,
okay? And then we'll just go through the roll call. Diana? Okay to adjourn the
Aye.
meeting?
Mhm.
Dave? All set to adjourn the meeting?
yes?
Yeah. Tom's a yes. Dave, you're yes. Lisa, you're okay to adjourn?